Master Marcello, Neo Zeon Captain, Judo Ashta, skipping school. If that doesn't set the pace for Double Zeta at the start, I don't know what does. The show is an absolute fucking goldmine, and I swear that a lot of the screen caps that was being shown over the years were jokes. They're not jokes. They're the real deal.
So Double Zeta is the black sheep of the Universal Century timeline. And I say fuck you. Double Zeta is actually the best thing from the Universal Century timeline. And I say that with no hyperbole.
Double Zeta is not that dark. Literally drops a colony on Ireland. And when I say drops a colony, I more mean like parallel parks on top of Ireland. But you know, that's details. Anyway, what's up, guys? Bob.
You know when you toss a coin expecting heads or tails and it lands right in the middle?
I see where you're going with that. Haman try tossing heads or tails for if Ireland was gonna be blown up. Yeah, somewhere in the middle, whatever. It literally just parallel parked on top of Dublin. I mean, yeah, it's fine. I'm certain all the beer bottles would have caught it. Hey.
It did Camille a spoop.
It really fucking did. Alright, what's up, guys? Bob and Brian back with more Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2, the game that likely no one else has seen before in 1080p, and we were lucky to be the first ones to do so.
Hell yeah.
So, Double Zeta. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the first time you'll see Double Zeta's story in dubs, and probably the last time.
Hold on a second.
Although...
The name's Judo, in case you didn't know.
Dub Judo.
Andrew Francis.
This voice holds for 3 as well. I'm not sure if this is the same voice they use in 1, but this is despite him sounding a little old for like 14 or 15, it really fucking is really solid. Just in general. Okay.
Chunk, man.
So to give perspective on Judo, I mentioned this before actually. I don't remember if it was this game or if it was Reborn, but I really like the perspective still that contrary to the other two primary protagonists who grew up in what you probably perceive as like a life of luxury because, you know, Amuro's dad was like a
mobile suit engineer,
high up scientist in the Earth Federation,
mobile suit inventor.
Yep. And Camille managed to go to prestigious school, and his parents were both scientists. I'm pretty damn sure.
His father was also a mobile suit engineer. His mother was a mayor or something. She was something.
Jesus.
She was something political or government or something. That's why they were. That's why she was able to get Camille out of being arrested for assaulting military.
Oh, that's what I thought she was just some sort of political person, but I guess it's a little higher than that. So, as opposed to those two, Judo is a dirt broke motherfucker, so immediately the most relatable person for like 90% of us, if I'm being honest here.
Damn right.
So, He comes from nothing. Kid literally comes from fucking nothing. He has to choose between actually going to school, which he rarely does, or being a junker, which in an attempt to raise money for his sister so she can get an actual life and career ahead of her. So on that mirror alone, Judo has the biggest heart of gold and is the most charitable of any of them so far, even though funny enough he's like somewhere in a moral gray area of sometimes of Gundam. And it's kind of great for that.
It feels like for the first time, and really one of the only times, his stature informs his actions. It doesn't really hold true for anyone else here anyway.
Yeah.
Camille, knowing karate, being a college student, and being the son of an engineer, that doesn't really inform the way he acts very much at all.
Yeah.
Nor does Amuro's dad being an engineer and his mother being a nurse.
Amuro's character sometimes more or less comes down to the fact that he was an unlucky kid thrust into a war. Which again, late 70s anime, I'm not going to grudge them too much because characterization wasn't a big deal back then. But you can definitely see the evolution of where Tomino was going with going to Camille and then to Judo. And frankly, he did a masterful job, if I'm being honest.
Listen, you're not going to You're not going to come out well-adjusted when you spend your whole life alone with your father.
And when your dad is repeatedly absent out already.
To his credit, even my father never hit me.
Yes, because he was never around to do so. I say that, but Tem is genuinely a cunt sometimes.
Oh no, he's a right bastard. There's a story.
Well-meaning sometimes, but not a good dad.
There's a story in one of Reborn's ultimate modes where it's an alternate take where Tem survives, but he's like brain damaged, so he still thinks that he's a mobile suit engineer.
Oh man!
And that that Amuro is a pilot, and that he's developing suits that Amuro pilots, and he's like, here's this new part that I made. It's like, he keeps handing me junk, but I don't have the heart to tell him that he has Alzheimer's or something. So I pretend to take these. So I pretend to take these computer parts he gives me, put them in the cockpit of the Gundam, and say, "Yeah, this is a great upgrade, Dad."
How much do you remember of the original 079? Because that's not too dissimilar to what actually happened.
Yeah, but they run with that though.
They keep going with it.
It's like CCA era Amuro still dealing with that.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty intriguing actually. So, as opposed to all that, Judo, it's funny how initially Double Zeta starts in like a relatively like normal, I guess, quote unquote anime kind of setting where it's kids going to high school and all that, but like
middle school, they're 14.
Yeah,
he's in the 8th grade.
Funny that, like, it just starts out relatively normal and chill, but shit goes south very quickly.
Yeah.
As in Neo Geon shows up and Looney Tunes ensues. Yazan. Mashimer.
It started with Yazan. If not for Yazan, then I don't think Judo would have ever found out that the argument was even there.
Probably not.
Because it was Yazan's idea to steal the Zeta in the first place.
Yeah.
You have everything to thank for Yazan.
That wonderful Jiraiya bastard. In subs. Okay. So, starting things off, unfortunately, despite what I'm saying with Double Zeta finally having a dub story of some sorts, there's only like 4 missions, I think.
5.
Okay, that's better than what I thought it was going to be.
It's the shortest non-Char story.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'll take it for right now. I mean,
take what you can get, because this is also the first one where the voices are good, because Judo and Double Zeta do appear the briefest in Dynasty Warriors Gundam 1 and...
Yeah, you show me that, but Dynasty Warriors Gundam 1 is such a weird creature, too.
My name is Ashta. Judo Ashta. I have a lisp for some reason.
Well, lisp worse than mine. That's fucking impressive, too.
And it's also only 2 stages.
Yeah, that's the... Yeah,
it's just the battle with Haman.
It's... Warriors 1 is wild. I don't think we'll ever cover it. Maybe that's like a science experiment. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So, after Judo here actually does meet up with Bright and the Argama, and some weird intergalactic mind travel shit when he meets Camille, funny enough, they decide to depart together as a temporary alliance of some sort. He becomes an employee, which he never really taps into. You're now a soldier. You have a salary. You can use that to fund your sister going to school, dude. Like, you don't need to steal shit anymore. Come on.
You know, I don't know if we ever find out if any of the kids in any of the Gundam shows ever actually get paid. Like, they definitely have room and board covered, go figure, but we don't ever find out if they actually make proper money on it, or if that's illegal or not.
I mean, I think it's insinuated that Amuro did stay with the Earth Federation and Londo Bell post-mortem, so that post-mortem after 79,
They
so
may as well be.
like, I guess he would, like, it showed that he probably was getting paid.
I mean, at that point, he was a war hero.
Yeah, I mean, war hero, that'd probably bring with it some good assets as well. Alright.
They gave him a house.
So, unfortunately, this game starts off a third into the show.
Yeah, we're about 15, 18 episodes
Yeah.
in. It's we're starting at the Descent to Earth.
Descent to Earth.
Again, just like how Zeta started.
Oh, you're right. Funny that. Right, so this is the part also after... What was the sister's name?
Lena.
Yeah, after Lena's kidnapped. And that turns into the whole fiasco. And after Hamon's already... Oh my god, this is fucking hilarious. By this point, Earth Federation has kind of already surrendered to Hamon.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. They just fucking just wave the white flag and like, okay, yeah, we're beaten, lol.
Don't worry, Lena. I'm gonna get you out.
God, it's so good.
Created this war. Why do I have to clean up their mess?
It just sounds like mid-20s, but details.
Enough of a reason to fight and Judo are our friends, you know.
I'm worried.
Mostly.
Judo, we'd better not
Hello,
get
best
carried
girl.
away. This is a war.
Whiff.
You understand
Oof.
that, right?
Also 18. But
I don't care if it's a war. I'm going
Oh
to save
god, that's...
Lena.
I guess they hint to the worst parts of Ryu a little early then.
yeah,
Fuck your sister, we're at war.
they really do tap into that pretty early, don't they?
Oh boy.
I don't have a lot, but the stuff I do have is gonna help out pretty damn well. Leadership's a pretty good default. It boosts the abilities of all your other comrades. Pilot sense actually just rate. Yeah, it does. Oh yeah, fuck. I didn't realize until actually we were done with the prior recording. I was grinding some mechs this morning. I didn't realize that pilot points is literally just experience points. Because it's so weirdly pointed. Because pilot points in Reborn are used to buy skills.
Yes.
So it's very unclear about that. Hey, take off sequence for the Zeta. 60. I'll never get used to this.
I know, right?
It's so fucking pretty. We won't have 60 FPS cutscenes ever again. So I don't think we do.
Not even in 3? Is 3 still running the same engine?
I don't know. I mean, 3 might, but it's
Oh, no, wait, 3 uses...
cut.
Never mind, 3 uses pre-rendered cutscenes.
Yeah, that's right. Very, very much so. Okay, so yeah, at this point in time... So if you remember what happened last time with Zeta Gundam, first of all, I'm assuming that probably a lot more people in the audience probably don't know about Double Zeta as opposed to regular Zeta Gundam, because Zeta Gundam did get a dub.
Especially if there were a Gundam fan that was watching Universal Century in the 2000s, where they would have had access to Gundam 79 on TV and in movies, and oh hey, there are Zeta movies coming out, I can just watch those instead.
Yeah, that's a yikes. So anyway, what's basically happening here is that the overall, like, what's happening outside of the world is the fact that basically, after the giant barely victory for the AU, I say barely victory because, like, they still lost Camille, and the argument was right fucked. Basically,
the Earth was
Earth was borderline defenseless because they lost, like, the centralized portion of their entire military.
The Titans were, I think, their only remaining fighting force.
Yeah.
So to lose them all at once means the Earth was completely defenseless, which means the AU did an oopsie and completely primed the Earth for Hamon's taking, which is displayed in the next area, or would be anyway, where Hamon's at the party, with the Earth Federation officials, where she's selling the...
She's basically selling, like, either military positions or, like, land or something.
They're selling Side 3 to her. She's buying Side 3.
And you know where that's gonna go? Initially, it's said to just, like, buy more land for Neo Zeon, but, like, knowing what Char does, honestly, I have personal doubts. She wouldn't just immediately drop it on Earth, considering what happened to Ireland.
No, she actually wanted that because apparently Side 3 is former Zeon territory. She actually wanted it back.
I say, Kathleen, we got ourselves another side falling into the atmosphere. It's like the third one this week. Sorry. But what was going on? So yeah.
If it was a bitch for Ireland, how do you think Australia took it?
Well, Australia had a giant hole left in it.
It's a...
If
they attack the center of Australia, then it's okay. The entire center of Australia is completely uninhabitable anyways. There are only cities on the borders of Australia.
Yeah, most of the deaths on Earth came from either fallout, meteorites striking the Earth, or, like, just immediate, like, after effects of it, which led to have people on Earth dying. Oopsie. Meanwhile, Ireland, they just parallel park a colony on top of it. It's like, yeah, it'll collapse, I think.
What the fuck
Although I must say, actually seeing a colony drop properly done in the original series run, a very surreal sight. Because that's essentially just Operation Bridge happening again before your very eyes, and Hamon's doing it. So that was kind of very surreal.
Yeah, it's something else seeing it in not necessarily good animation, but not broken animation.
Yeah.
Because they'd at least ironed out the kinks by Zeta and Double Zeta.
Yeah.
They didn't have anyone going to the hospital a third of the way through their run and never recovering.
That said, though, there were a couple of episodes in Double Zeta where it did feel like they were really stretching the budget a little bit.
Oh no, definitely.
One of them, notably for me, was the
Sunrise was, as a studio itself, was not making much money by then.
Yeah,
that took a while.
One of the more noticeable ones, actually, for me, was the later Hong Kong episode. I think it was. No, not Hong Kong. No, it was right. Yeah, it was that. It's either that same episode or later, the next episode. You know, after that little incident.
We'll get to that.
Oh Christ, will we? Actually, well, we have to because it's not gonna talk about it in the game. So funny that. Oopsie.
The Guadin has entered the atmosphere.
Where are you?
So anyway, what's happening right now is that essentially, what was the Africa base again called?
Come to Earth for you.
I forget offhand.
Dakar.
Yeah, so Dakar is being actually directly invaded by Neo Zeon right now.
Zeon has actually had forces in Dakar for several years that just no one knew about.
Yeah, including some remnants from...
That's why they have goofs.
Yeah, they were including some remnants from the fucking 1 Year War. One of which is a battalion that actually has a couple of what are they, Gelgoogs?
Gelgoogs.
Yeah, just a couple of blue Gelgoogs lying around. Like, oh shit, okay.
Oh, Puru. Oh boy.
Puru. Poor girl. Oh Jesus. Also, after having played Mass Effect so much recently, now when I logged it this morning for us to use as Char, I was just like, wow, yeah, the black cube just reminds me of Reapers from Mass Effect. I know it means absolutely nothing for you, but it's just kind of funny for me to look at because giant black purple squids. It would make way more sense if you actually did look at Mass Effect a little bit, but yeah, it's kind of funny.
I played a bit of Mass Effect 1 on the PS3.
I'm sorry.
So you know, make of that what you will.
I'm sorry for your loss.
What are you gonna do when the collection's $5?
Start with 2. That's what I did.
Yeah, but isn't the whole purpose supposed to be about carrying over your character across the series?
That is a big appeal, but Mass Effect 1 is so fucking dated because 2007 RPG made in the West. In fact, I was finding a whole bunch of jank even though in the Legendary Edition, which fixed a lot of problems.
Well done, Judo.
If the moral of the story is that WRPGs don't age well, I believe you. I believe you immediately and without question. Son of a bitch. Motherfucker blocked me.
Yeah, you want to... You can still use it to your advantage to take out some side guys nearby, but usually you want to combo directly into your move, so if you're up against an ace pilot, especially a boss.
We don't see Glemmy as a pilot very often, but I actually do really like his specific orange Bawu.
Oh no, I was mentioning that before.
There's another, the generic one comes in green, I think, and it doesn't look as... It's either green or gray, but it doesn't look as good.
It also just generally looks really good. It's got like the highlighting effects of the Sananju, pretty much. But like the red, yellow, and black, but in like a good way. At least I think so. I think it looks pretty spiffy.
It does, but then you said it looks like the Shinanju.
Color-wise, that's all you implied by that.
Yeah. Boy, isn't this quirky timing that we're fighting against a bunch of mobile suits called Gaza. the Gaza C's and the Gaza D's.
Yeah.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
It's not the same one, but Revolution of our time.
Practically shit.
Which, speaking of Revolution of our time, also not the same one, but Taiwan is a country.
Okay. I mean, I already went over this in the prior recording too, but Black Lives Matter, tax the rich, Taiwan's a country, free free Beijing, no, not Beijing, Hong Kong.
Free Tibet.
Free Tibet, free Palestine, and so on.
That sort of crap is going to come up eventually, invariably, but it's gonna be mostly a lot more lighthearted comedy with this one. Because Double Zeta, even when Double Zeta gets dark, is still funny.
Yeah, so, like, depending on what... Like, a lot of the dark shit is kind of more like subtext more than anything else, like, especially with... Like, obviously, Peru's a cyber new type, so we know what that entails, brings with it, thanks to, you know, the shit we see with 4. But with her, we see the process, too. Like, being re-brainwashed with, the labs that, on Neo Zeon's side.
Reconditioning, I think they call it.
Yeah, that's fucked. Tomino really does tap into some dark-ass, places with some straight-up fucking,
He's the inventor of hentai. How many hentai tags do you think he invented? Because Mindbreak could be one of them.
I don't know, because I am not a connoisseur of 80s or 90s hentai, personally speaking.
You know the story, right?
Yes, I know how Sayla being naked inadvertently led to the creation of hentai. And because of the fact that Gundam was an apologist series for World War II Japan, yeah.
The specific story is that because the shots of Sayla in the bath either didn't exist or didn't look as good on TV, so when the movies came out in theaters, there were literally Japanese fans that would carry their disposable Kodaks into the theater and take pictures in the theater, which means with the flash on...
Jesus.
Of Sayla in the bath with her nipples showing.
That is so bizarre.
Because disposable cameras come with flash on automatically. You couldn't turn that off back in the day.
Yeah.
And this was a common enough occurrence that it became a well-known phenomenon.
Okay, that's... Man, yes, Japanese audience, that is in fact a boobie. It's
1981.
I know, it's 1981. Porn was not nearly as readily accessible as it would be even like in the 90s back then.
By the
Oh god.
By the 90s, actual hentai had been invented. Yep.
Seen some weird shit that H-Anime has been uploading straight from the 80s and 90s that's like, huh, yeah, this definitely has that 90s flair to it, that's for sure. Oh god, where do I even go with the story right now? Because we're going all over the place. Well, first of all, Glemmy's a good boy. I like Lemmy.
Yes, he is.
Except for his obsessive fawning, borderline creepy, actually very creepy, fawning over Rue, which, I mean, I get it.
And also his kidnapping of Lena and refusal to give back to her blood family.